All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Artcasters, episode 502, I think.
504. 504. I think.
504. I don't even know the number. It's over
You're
500.
being on the move.
Yeah, I've been on the move. Speaking of on the move, where the hell's Scott?
I hope he's on the move to get on this broadcast.
We were expecting Scott. We're waiting for him to log in. It's just this. It's I don't know, man.
I don't either. This doesn't always seem like him, but occasionally
he had a topic on mind too. This seems more like a me move, to be honest. I
don't know what he's doing. Maybe it's like, well, I'm gonna get Josh back for that one time.
You know what? That's it. It's got to be payback. Hello, audience. We're waiting on Scott.
Well, let's just get started.
Okay. Well,
hey.
How
to do a beer?
Oh
run
my
here.
goodness!
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Scott Serkland.
You guys are on the same camera. This is crazy.
What am I doing here?
This is absolute madness.
I couldn't figure out the daylight savings time switch, so I figured I'd just come to where you guys are, so I knew we were on the same time.
Okay, that because when you said what are you doing here, I was going to ask you the same thing.
That's it.
I don't even know what the hell's going on.
I love it. How's it going, boys? How's Portland? When did you get from the airport to the did you take the the blue line there?
I can't even remember. No, I didn't take the blue line. I took a jet, rented a car. I've been here since Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Just hanging out with my girlfriend's family, and then obviously if I'm here, I got to come out and see my boy. So
thanks for the beer, by the way.
I love it. Well, so we've been on the move.
Yeah, we're on the move. Basically, this topic, we don't have a guest or anything. We're just hanging out. Josh just got back from.
I have a guest.
Well, yes, you do. He has a guest. Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Kevin does have a guest.
I am the guest. Yeah. So.
I love it. How is Portland right now?
Rainy. Right? Yeah, but I was expecting that, so I didn't know. I wasn't aware that it didn't not rain here. So. But apparently, Kevin told me that it does. There are times where it doesn't rain.
There are times when it doesn't, and there's times when it can even get in the 110s.
Yep, this is
really, yeah. But it's been pretty wet. So we've been
three-quarters of the year. It's about pretty wet. Yeah.
Oh, the big news, Josh. Yes. I don't know if you saw this in our chat, but I went to Powell's, and guess what I picked up there?
I saw. That was pretty exciting.
I have an official copy of official brick and mortar purchase copy of Jacob's Apartment, not my advanced reader copy, which I've been waiting to kind of find it in the wild, and what better place than Powell's. So yeah,
that's pretty exciting. That was one of my favorite bookstores in the world, and that was one of the hardest things about moving back from Portland. Was like on Sundays I'd go to Powell's and just chill, and then cruise up to the rare books area of Powell's and look at stuff that I could never afford but really appreciate.
I saw that room. I didn't go in there. I was kind of nervous, like, do I need like some special clearance to go in that room?
Yeah, the Sotheby's,
the white gloves,
and puts white gloves
on. Oh really? Is it that wow?
No. I've been in there and I've looked around, but I've been in there and looked around, but I haven't touched.
Right.
I've also been
But there were two copies of Jacob's Apartment, so there's probably one still there. So if you're in Portland,
head up there. I also saw that they had some deep cuts, man. They had some copies of Numb right next to it. So
I didn't see. No, I looked. I would have bought that.
I saw the spine of it, like right.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, I must have.
That's pretty
funny. In the picture you sent
because I don't have that now. I'm bummed. Maybe I'll go back there. I might have to go back. Well, there's another Powell.
That's out of print.
Yeah. Okay. I might have to go back. I don't know how I missed that. Okay.
But yeah, that means a lot because I remember looking at that section and being like, man, I wish I had a book up there. And so that's really meaningful.
Yeah.
That it's up there.
Yeah. That was cool. That was a cool find.
That probably just means one of the two cartoonists I knew was like, you guys should order Jacob's Apartment.
That's kind of the one thing that I've finally been doing since it is rainy and we've been just kind of hanging out, like I said, with family and stuff.
Yeah.
I've had some time to actually read some comics. So So I picked up this. I wanted to show. This I had, but this is something cool that I don't know if anyone. This is have you guys seen this Blitz? It's like
cool.
Wizard, but for indie comics.
Okay.
It's put out by this company. Who puts it out? Is it Rage Press? I think it's. But
I like that it's like vinyl size.
Raymond Perez, who's the illustrator on that Jim Henson book that I got, the Tale of Sand.
Yeah, such a good
I think
artist.
He's the publisher, but it's really cool. I bought this online, so I paid like 15, or I paid something. It was mostly shipping, I think, but they're free if you can find them in the wild. But I think they publish them in like Canada or something. But they're trying to get them out there. But it's really cool. It's just like, I just thought that was super cool. So I've been reading that. I've been reading. I didn't bring the rest of the stuff, I don't think. But yeah. I got this book called what is it? Shin Zero. It's pretty cool because I'm trying to read some of the stuff that's kind of in the genre that I'm going into for Hip Optimus Rhyme.
Yeah.
And this one is like, it's like Super Sentai, but they're it's like, so there was a big kaiju war. They fought off the kaiju, and now the kaiju never came back. So now they're kind of resorted to being like mall cops, and it's all Uberized. So there's apps, and they join to be a Sentai, and then they get sent to like, walk old ladies across the street or stuff like that. And it's really looked down upon. So it's kind of a cool concept. So I've been reading that. I read the first volume of that. That's cool.
I kind of like the idea of mech mall cops.
Yeah. It's I think it's a French book, but it's definitely Japanese influence. It looks like a manga, but yeah. So that was cool. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I've just been reading books, which you probably have too, Josh, since you finally wrapped up your big project.
Yeah, I had one day of reading books, and then I had a night where I couldn't sleep because I just didn't feel right. So I had read I caught up on a lot of books. I read a lot of our good friend Scott Lost's books.
Yeah.
And finally caught up on his books, which I was really impressed by. And his art's he's more patient than I am as an artist, because he does a lot of technical backgrounds and stuff. But it was cool to finally be able to read some of his stuff. And then I read 3 Daniel Klaus novels that I come out and I hadn't read yet. And then after that, I just got plagued with what'll I do next? And it was just flooding me. And that's when I decided to do Duck Cop or All Duck Cops Are Bastards, Ad Cab, which is going to be a comic about a cop duck who swears vengeance on the bread industry because bread killed his brother at a park. And so he's going to go AWOL using his authority as a police officer to just terrorize the bread industry. And the whole time he's going to be this merciless cop who all he does is quack, and people will interpret what he's saying. I didn't do it, Duck Cop. And he's like, quack. And they're like, it's okay. Anyhow, I have it to the point where right now he's applying at the police academy, and he's going to say quack, and they're going to be like, you can't work here, you're a duck. And he's going to be like, quack, and they're going to be like, all right, welcome to the force, kid. So that's one thing. And then I've got 2 stories, book 2, that I'm working on now. And then I was in Chicago for the last 4 days or something. Well, I guess for almost a week. So that's where I was while you guys were doing Artcasters last week. For a teaching conference. And then the cool thing about teaching conferences is there's a cutoff time of 4. So from 4 to 12, me and a couple friends who are also teachers, we got to peruse around Chicago, go to a tiki bar, which was pretty excellent, an underground tiki bar. And when you enter it, there was just a wall of skulls. And I was like, I love this place already. And then the tiki bar had extremely strong drinks. And it's one of those bars where you go there, you have one drink, and then you're like, oh, tonight's not going to be good because I'm just going to keep going after that one. So then we ordered the Hippo, which is a giant, everybody drinks a mixed drink.
Wayne's World drink that they got?
Yeah, but it had like smoke coming out of it and stuff. We went
cool.
to a second city performance, which was really cool. Yeah, it was just really great. But what was surprising to me was I was expecting to go there and it's just snow because just it's Chicago, and instead, it's like if you took Portland and you just moved it, with like 50 times the size of the buildings. It felt like Portland weather, which was actually nice for me because I brought my old Portland coat and I was like, oh, I'm prepared. I'm good.
Yeah.
And all my other California friends were wearing stuff that gets wet and it, soaks through. Like they're wearing their Dickies jackets and stuff, and it's just like, yep, that's not gonna work here. But it was cool. It was a beautiful trip. Got to go to Museum of Art. That was cool. The Art Institute of Chicago, and then just saw some other stuff. Like had like the best deep dish I've ever had. Went to this weird quirky bar where the bartender like paints patrons.
Okay.
And I guess it was on Anthony Bourdain or something. A friend of mine said, but like the guy who was the bartender there was like an experimental jazz musician who like travels. He like gigs around the world. He was showing us all these pictures and stuff, but he's like a bartender there for his like day job. And I was like, what a cool place to be a bartender, because the owner literally just paints the patrons. He's like 88 and he still paints like all the patrons on the walls and stuff. And then he also has these really raucous paintings that are like political. So like making fun of like Trump and like all the administration and stuff, but it's like the coolest little dive bar. A lot of stuff like that. It was just, and then a bunch of conferences where I like learned some cool stuff about, like teaching techniques, and some where I sat and it was art educators being like, here's how we finger paint with students. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah.
I want rigor in my class. I'm sorry. I don't want to do paper plate projects.
Yeah. I'm still so, I keep telling everybody I wish I had you when I obviously, I would have to be an alternate reality because I'm older than you, but I wish I had you as an art teacher growing up, because the stuff you're teaching your students is just like awesome for high school. Yeah. So,
yeah.
we did have a cool art teacher though. But we like, I don't know if it's the same at your school, but we like, there was no money for supplies. So we painted with like house paints and stuff. He just bringing these big buckets of house paints, and we'd be painting it with house paints.
Our money extends to, well, because it's art one too. It's like you're going to budget more for like pencils and like regular supplies. Right. And then with paint, like with art one, the first year I was like, I'm going to get them acrylics, we're going to actually use acrylics. And then the next year I was like, we're getting tempera. We're getting tempera, because it's like it just gets so abused, and like you show them how to like put the paint on the palette, but then like some kid walks up to you and they have like a gallon of paint, they just pour it on, and you're like, why? Why? We're painting something this small. Like you don't need.
I remember when I first started off not knowing that how far a little dab of paint will go.
Yeah. A little dab will do ya is what I believe. But yeah,
what was that? What was?
I don't even remember.
That would have been before my time.
I think my grandpa used to say that, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I don't know what that's from.
And now we say grandpa phrases because
for some reason awesome. Sounds right. We had real cream.
Well, we did, but it was more like 50s, 60s greaser stuff, right?
Yeah. We still need to get a set of
it's
combs.
VO5. Okay, VO5. Yeah, I remember that.
Because they had a greaser.
Yeah.
That's it. A little dab will do. That's it. Yeah. I think we need to get switchblade combs now that Kevin is back. I think we need them so we can just, if we have a guest who's unruly, you can just be like, oh yeah.
We got to do that before we lose our hair. At least me.
Well, we're getting there.
So anyhow, I missed you guys. It was cool though, and like the coolest thing I think about Chicago, because my dad grew up in Chicago. The last time I was in Chicago, I was too little to remember, so it was cool to like connect areas that he had talked about growing up, and then also he always would talk about how clean the city was, and then you watch like Chicago crime stuff, and you're like, I don't think that this city's going to be that, and it's like no, it's like beautiful, spotless city, like. And the thing I loved about it was it felt like New York did when I went to New York, but like instead of New York where everything's compressed, it's like a walkable city. It's like the streets are really wide, so like even if there's a crowd, you don't ever feel like crowded by people. And so it doesn't have the electricity of New York where you like feel that energy. Like New York, when you get in downtown, you're like there's an energy that's undeniable. But it's like instead in Chicago, it just feels chill. Like, and people are really like they're definitely very like Midwest like friendly. You know, people like people come by that look like they're gonna like kill you or something. They're just like, oh hey, how's it going? Like they're just everybody's really friendly. It was just like a really cool, beautiful view of the city, and I happily wore my Dodgers hat the first day and got a couple glares. But then there were a couple places we went where there's no way I'm sporting that. Like, because we went to like a couple spots that are like legendary, like Cubs hangout spots and stuff. We're like, we're not gonna, sport our LA stuff there. And I had the best, one of the best hot dogs of my life. So it was overall, like food wise, like that is a good city. The
only time I've been to Chicago was just in the airport as a layover, but I specifically found a pizza restaurant in there and got a pizza. So I don't know if it was a deep dish, but I don't know, if it was technically as good as what you're.
Yeah, I gotta get the name from my buddy about the place we went to get the deep dish. And it's in if you've ever seen The Bear, the TV show The Bear.
I haven't. I was told to watch it. I think I started watching it, but I think it was too fast paced. Like
it is a tense show, especially if you've worked in food service.
So like this is too much.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends who used to work in food service and couldn't watch it because it was like PTSD. But there's a scene in it where they're at like a 4-star restaurant, and this guy is trying to like give people, like he's finally understood that like being a server is about like making people's lives better, and that makes your job awesome. And so this kid comes in and is disappointed, even though the parents have been planning this 4-star restaurant thing. The kid's disappointed because they wanted to try a Chicago deep dish pizza, and they wanted to see snow, and it was raining, and they didn't get pizza. So he gets a snow machine, right? Takes him on the porch, and then he has like a couple of the servers like go to the most legit place to get a deep dish pizza, and then basically like brings it to the 4-star restaurant so the kid's happy. And it's a sweet point in the story, and it's not really giving away like a big twist or something. But that place we went to, and it is like we tried deep dish at a couple places. It is literally the best, one of the best pieces of pizza I've had in my life. The point where like the edges of it are just like that crispy, like black. It's about this thick, just amazing. So it was a really cool trip. And I got to stop by Quimby's, which I was stoked about because
what's Quimby's? You know what Quimby's is?
Quimby's is like one of the biggest mini comic shops and indie comic shops in the world. Cool. So it's a small shop, but if you think about Portland has like a zine center kind of thing. It's like 5 times that size. And then the cool thing is all the signage was designed by Chris Ware based on his little Quimby the mouse character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of legendary in like the indie, like especially zine world. And so I was like, I got to go by Quimby's. So we went to Quimby's and stuff. Yeah. I didn't get to go to Zany's. I was hoping, but they were sold out. Like,
is that the comedy place?
Yeah. That's like their best known comedy place. Yeah. And I didn't get to tour and play there, which I'm guessing Mr. Cross probably did back in the day.
Yeah, I've been to Chicago a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of places that, like back in the old day, it'd be like Vets Halls and VA Halls and stuff. I think the biggest place I played that people might know is the Riviera Theater. Like all kinds of bands play there, not just punk bands. And for the kind of punk rock I was playing, it was amazing that we played there,
Yeah.
In more than once too. So
that's awesome. That's a big theater to hit. Yeah, as like an indie band,
Yeah, it's pretty fancy place for a hardcore punk rock band to be playing.
You guys feel like you needed to wear like a coat or like a dinner coat?
No. No, we stayed in character as ourselves and just like ate it up.
That sounds fun as hell.
Yeah,
it's a good city.
I've been there a lot, but never more than like you drive in, got to get there before sound check, and then you play the show. You might hang out, you know, maybe with some of the locals, but you got to get up in the morning, be at the next place, you know.
Yep.
So that's I've been there a lot, but it's not much more than that. Show up, play a show, leave. You know?
Yeah. That was the nicest part about this was the last few big trips I've done out of state were as an art director. And those trips were like actually kind of depressing. Like at first they were kind of exciting, but it's like you'd go, you'd meet a client, and then pretty much, you're like in a hotel room, and maybe you get a chance to like stop somewhere for an hour, and then you're back on a flight, or you're back with another client in the area. And so there's not really a lot of time, even though you get to like travel, you don't really get to travel. So this was really nice for that. What spots have you hit up? Well, so Scott, you were saying you've mostly been with family, so now you're getting to make the rounds a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, we went. Let's see, we went to a conveyor belt sushi place. It was all right. We went on happy hour, so they didn't put out the good stuff. It seemed like, but it was cool. I like conveyor belt sushi, so we did that. We did Pals, like I said. Now I'm still bummed that I didn't see Numb there. I'm gonna have to go back and get it. But
it's an excuse to go back there. You could spend a day in that.
I'm wondering if they might have it at the other ones. It might be cool to go to one of the other, because I think there's a closer one by where we're at. But I went to Pals, made a day of that. Just what else where did we go? Went out to eat some, bar and grill place. It was pretty good. But then tomorrow we're going to visit with more family. And then this weekend, I think Kevin and I are going to hang out a little bit with, Kevin, do some stuff. Maybe go down to Astoria or somewhere thereabouts.
Kevin, what's the place that does the foil animals?
Oh, they don't do that anymore because they. So that place was, oh God, that place was great.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you're in Portland, that's a place to eat, but I don't know if they exist anymore.
No, that was one of the local spots that went out of business because, they weren't Target during the pandemic. Oh God, what was it? Meltdown.
No,
Meltdown Comics. Yeah, you got to go to Meltdown.
Yeah, I never go. No, it's gone.
The mac and cheese place.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was like the best. And I'm a mac and cheese dude, so
that
place was.
So they used to have like kind of fancier mac and cheese.
Oh yeah.
With, like you get scallops and lobster in your mac and cheese.
Oh wow.
But you got a lot. So your leftovers, the whoever your server was, everyone had like 2 or 3 foil sculptures in the repertoire. And so think of like making balloon animals, but with aluminum foil. And you get like a swan or I got a sword a couple times. All kinds of stuff. And that's your leftovers. And I remember
the food was so good, there's no way you're throwing away those leftovers,
Yeah.
That was amazing. And they had really good service. It was just like a nice like environment and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, that was Portland it was a different Portland for sure.
I actually
do they still have the breakfast
over
pizza?
Here.
What's that?
Do they still have the breakfast pizza?
At Hammy's, yes they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah, you gotta. I was telling Kevin before I got over, the one thing that surprised me is when I got here, I just expected everything to be artisanal mom and pop shops, and I come through and it's just, it is Pizza Hut and Taco Bell. It's all that same stuff that everyone else has. But I'm sure there's places, but I mean, even Arizona, there's places that are more mom and pop.
Yeah, there's
certain
still
areas.
It's just the stereotype around here. I was telling you and Josh got to experience it though. It was before the pandemic wiped out all the mom and pop places. Right. It was a lot more like that.
Yeah.
And there used to be like an In-N-Out was going to come into Portland, and all these people were like, "No, it's not mom and pop." And then, but we've got Shake Shack everywhere.
I think that's why. I think that's what threw me off, because I remember you saying that story. I'm like, well, there's like much, talk about. Like you said, I've seen tons of Shake Shacks.
Yeah, but since then there's like whatever. And there's an In-N-Out now close. It's not in city limits, but it's fairly close now.
Yeah.
But
that's cool that there's an In-N-Out though, because we used to joke about that on BIPT back in the day, how much we missed In-N-Out.
And missed it. Now
we meet like other people from California, and they just talk about like In-N-Out, like a long lost love, or like a dead relative or something. So they just don't talk about it, man. Just don't mention it.
Yeah, the only fast food places we rarely ever go to is In-N-Out and Salad and Go. I don't know if you guys have Salad and Go.
No, I've heard of that.
I've
never
cool.
heard of that.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It's reasonable, and you just go and they have different salads and they've got different drinks and stuff. But it's just like, and you just basically there's no place to sit. It's a drive-through, and you go and get a really good salad, or you can get a wrap or whatever. But yeah, it's cool.
That's kind of awesome. That's like anti-fast food and
and
a good way.
Healthy,
like,
and
I'm gonna go get a salad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Wow, can you imagine?
Yeah, I wonder if there's a Salad and Go up here. I gotta check it out.
I don't know. I heard that they stopped making them in Texas because I guess they just rejected them. So they said they were gonna concentrate on
Texas. That's not a good spot. Maybe Austin.
They're gonna concentrate on Arizona. So that was good because I was glad that they're not moving out of Arizona and some other state. But yeah, so.
Yeah, I think branching to Texas with anything healthy is probably a death wish already.
Speaking of Texas, we are getting a Buc-ee's.
Oh.
We're getting a Buc-ee's in Arizona.
There's not one here, but I lived in Texas for 5 or 6 years. I split up my formative years with California, Texas, then back to California.
Yeah, Kevin and I both were Texans at some point in our lives.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Right. Yeah, I lived near Fort
Worth.
Yeah,
wasn't. I was in right outside of Houston, and it wasn't the Texas that was stereotypical at the time.
Yeah, mine was pretty stereotypical.
CRI was a local band, and MDC, and that's where I got into punk and skateboarding.
Yeah. That's very different than the side of Texas I was on. The side of Texas I was on, like there were like bullet holes in every stop sign. People would drive with gun racks.
That's the part of California I'm from.
I went to Texas.
That wasn't in the country.
I went to Texas not too long ago. And I forgot, it wasn't Austin, but it was I forgot what city it was.
San Antonio.
Was it whatever it was? It was very very liberal type city, but it was.
I mean, all big cities are usually.
I guess maybe you're right.
And when I lived there, like when we moved back to California, all these kids were like surprised I didn't have some country accent.
Yeah.
But I lived there. It was during there was 2 recessions in the 80s.
Yeah.
And we moved there during the first one. My dad got work. And all my friends were from Michigan and New York and Pennsylvania and also California and Nevada. And I had one friend who was from Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really depends on where in Texas you are too. Cause like the area I was in was like really like rural, like country. And like everybody had a pair of cowboy boots. And what's that thing called? I always forget, the little bolo tie and stuff like that. But But
Longhorn skull on it.
Yeah, and the elementary, because I was in kindergarten there, and like I remember even in school, they would talk about why Texas should have seceded. Like, in like the kindergarten.
Oh,
you're like, I don't know. But again, as a kid, you're just like,
don't be surprised if we don't go back to that.
Yeah.
That was another thing about where I lived in Texas. I was too young to drive, but had I not been, I was drivable distance from a beach you can surf.
Yeah.
So people don't think of Texas.
Yeah.
Texas
has surf.
That's like Arizona.
Like Austin, it's like pretty much like Austin is like Portland. It's like old Portland, Yeah,
so it's like humid, more humid.
Yeah, it's Portland with terrible weather.
It's smaller because Portland's like super spread out.
Because
that's another place. I've been to Austin a million times, playing in bands and otherwise. So
yeah,
I feel like that's one of those cities I've never lived in, but if all 3 of us just went there, I'd be like, oh, I know this place we could check out, and then I could get us there.
Yeah. And they have like South by Southwest and like a whole bunch a whole bunch of like really like, I mean, that's one of the most progressive cities in like the whole country. So Texas is just such a big state. It's like anybody who's lived there probably has a different view,
Yeah.
But I do remember like Riverwalk and stuff from when I was a kid, and it was like boats, and I had this vague memory of it, like the boats from like Disneyland. It's a Small World.
Yeah.
And they kind of go through the city and stuff. And I was describing this to somebody, and they thought I was crazy. And then I described it to somebody from Texas, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Riverwalk." And I was like, "Oh, it's real." Okay, because I have this memory.
Served by the Alamo.
I'm old enough to remember Disneyland had the motorboats. Yep.
Oh,
Josh probably doesn't remember.
I know the Disneyland motorboats. Come on, I'm not.
You remember? You know that? Okay, I thought that was okay.
They would go under that little restaurant.
Yeah,
which was pretty chill. Yeah, I actually like those more than Autopia because like Autopia,
I remember liking those a lot. Yeah,
could be fun unless you had a kid who didn't know how to brake behind you.
Yeah.
And then
there used to be 2 Autopias.
Yep.
I think there was one in Fantasyland and Tomorrowland.
Now they've expanded it, so Autopia is like it's got like a little freeway and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't really do Disney.
When I was a little kid, I used to trip out because remember when we were kids, it was like, those kids with the rubber cement and the Marks-a-Lot pens are getting high in the back of the class. And then you get an Autotopia back then, you're like,
whoa. Yes. I remember that, yeah.
That is true. There are kind of a couple spots, couple corners where you'd be like, So what you guys been up to? What Scott, you've been catching up on reading, kind of vacationing a bit. That's pretty chill.
Kevin, doing that on the plane and writing. I've been making some progress on my book, just writing down ideas. I've kind of got sort of rough outlines for like 4 chapters or issues or whatever they are. So I'm just, as I get ideas, I kind of jot them down. So I'm trying to do some work while I'm here creatively.
Sweet.
But I don't know. It's other than just jotting down ideas, it's kind of hard but it's good. I mean, you need to take vacation. I think it's healthy to step away every now and then and just relax, because I'm usually like all over the place. But now that I don't have access to my computer and all that stuff, that I can kind of take a break and just relax.
Yeah, that was one of the nice things about kind of the trip was I got a couple days off teaching, which was nice, and just being with like other teachers. It was cool too because I met a lot of the other art teachers in our district, and it made me feel really good about our district too, because it's like a lot of people who really care about art, and a lot with like real serious art backgrounds too. So it was kind of like, oh cool, like very cool bonding experience with like the people in the valley.
Yeah.
And then we're out there, and there's like 5,000 art teachers at this convention. So
that's cool.
What's funny is we were noticing you could tell what subject they taught just by how they dressed. I'd swear it was like 9 to 10. 9 out of 10 would have like a pink to purple hair gradient and like a thrift store dress. And
when
like
you say what subject, you mean like what grade or
no subject? Like you'd be like, oh, there's that they teach ceramics. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. I only, for some reason, I just remember art class was just, it seemed that from my memory, it was like
one class. It was like that at my school.
Different things. Yeah.
But at these bigger schools, like there's a whole department, so it's like they'll have, ceramics must have existed because that used to be
ceramics, but it was just part of the regular art class. You take your ashtray and give it to your parents who smoke, but they're like, oh, this is great. Thanks.
Now, if you're making that ashtray, you're getting in trouble. That ashtray is equivalent to the other thing people would make in ceramics.
Oh yeah. Well,
where you're like, it's a planter.
We made some crazy stuff in wood shop too.
Yeah. But yeah, it was funny. You could kind of tell like what subject everybody taught, including ourselves, right? Because my buddy Josh, who's been on the show as well, and I we'd be walking around, and the 1 out of 10 would be like, I love Sonic Youth, like or whatever, and it's clear we're like graphic design, illustration background types, it's pretty interesting. But yeah, like that, it was so nice to just not be like to be forced to like kind of not be a workaholic for like a little bit. Although I did work a little bit on comics, but not much,
Yeah, it's cool that they do that. How often do you think they'll do that? How often will you get to do that? Go out of town for a convention like that?
It's up to the districts and the schools. So I'm just thankful that the district sent us. And,
that's really cool.
And like, hopefully I think with newer teachers, they want to do it a lot because they really want you doing professional development. And stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have to mention that I am doing professional development every night. But it's like, it was really cool. It was awesome and a cool experience. And I feel lucky because our district was very generous and stuff. So it was cool. I'm not speaking for the school district, by the way, if you guys are watching, but I just, my own experience was, it was cool. It was a cool experience, but what I find is weird, and I don't know if you guys have this, Scott, you might have this, getting back, there was like a time change, like like the day we had to fly out.
Yeah.
So we flew out on Sunday, and then the time changed. So it's like, I already had like the 2-hour change kind of thing, but then that mixed with daylight savings, which California voted out. And for some reason, they still have it. like we literally had it on the ballot, and I looked it up, and they like put in like really small words on the ballot, like, you're actually voting to make a committee to consider it. And so it was like, everybody in California was like, yes, we got rid of it. And no, it was we had gotten a committee to consider it, and apparently they haven't come up with a conclusion on that. So anyhow, so it's like 3-hour kind of difference. And then when I got back, I had to catch up on my homework for like 4 hours till like 2 a.m. or something, and then go to work. And then the rest of this week up to today, it's been like a slow drag for me to get back into, outside of like school to get back into the habit. So I'm glad we're doing this tonight, because it's an excuse for me to actually like get back to working on my comics,
Yeah, this is the first time, because since Arizona doesn't have daylight savings time, so basically, if we would have left a week earlier, it would have been a different story. But I basically, the time zone didn't change because I flew out here as you guys switched.
Yeah.
So now I'm on Pacific. We're both Arizona and Portland and LA are all on Pacific time now. So right now we're all in the same time zone, all the Artcasters. So
that's awesome.
It'll make it easier.
It's all connected, and if we could just stop changing it, that would be cool. Yeah. I told you, right? Like the reason, I found out the real reason of the time change. Did I tell you that, Scott? Yet
you did. I forgot.
I've heard like 2 or 3 different versions.
Okay, I went down a deep.
Made me go, you're lying.
Yeah, I went down a deep dive, on this, because everybody had said it was because of farming, and I had just assumed that growing up. So I look it up, and there's this long story, but I guess it was started in England, and it was literally started by a guy who wanted more.
We got to go to war with them again.
Yeah.
So right now. Come on.
Get this. It's like an English gentleman who talked to his representatives basically. And he was just like, I need more time to collect butterflies. What if we were to change the world so that I had an extra hour to collect butterflies? And that's literally the origin of it. It's a guy who wanted more time to collect bugs.
I don't, maybe I'm just not smart enough, but I don't understand why you have to change it. Why don't you just get up earlier? Or I don't even understand.
Because you're wealthy and you have friends in government.
I know, but I don't
change
understand the benefit. Yeah, well, okay. I don't understand the benefit of daylight savings time at all.
But yeah, so the origins are literally like a rich dude wanting more time for his bugs and having high friends in high places, and then we've just gone with it.
Yeah, they're probably high.
Man, I want to poke that soft-handed MFer.
I know, but I bet he had like a cool
like comic for you. You build a time machine just so you can go back and punch that guy.
Yeah, everybody who does like not like big historical things,
just little things,
annoying historical.
And all it is boom, and then you go to the next place.
Yeah, or just occasionally like grab, stop it, and then leave.
I love that because I feel like if I went back there to do that, I'd get distracted by his weird curio collection and then be like, okay, you're fine. Just like old English parlors, how they have like a little museum.
Caricature of that guy,
I instantly, when Josh brought him up, I know exactly what he looks like.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Definitely wears.
Is it that weird hat thing?
Pith helmet. Yeah, for sure.
Not a pith. Well, it's a pith helmet, but it's the kind of one that's a little more ornate. It's kind of got a pointy thing.
Oh, like the Professor Higgins. I get what you're saying. It's kind of like a pork pie, but
wear one of those like King Henry like pillows on his head with the big feather.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be kind of heavy set.
Yeah.
and everything would be like brightly colored satin, and he'd have knickers on with these
definitely knickers,
these pantyhose that were striped upwards that go up to with his little shoes with his buckles on, so I could step on him while I go cool. Stop it!
It definitely needs buckled shoes for sure.
Yeah, because if he said, "Can we?" If that guy came up to me talking about butterflies, I would know he was not for me. I was about to get more.
Yeah, there's I can't remember his name, but there's like an indie rapper who's kind of, he's got this British persona, and I think he is British, but he's Professor somebody, and he talks with that really posh British accent. And everything he raps about is all about that kind of stuff, and it's hilarious. It's like a novelty act, but
like
I think I've seen
yeah. Professor Professor Elemental. Look him up. It's funny.
It is funny. I've seen he's like got a YouTube. I believe. It's almost like that bit. Now I'm forgetting his name. The comedian who used to do who does Between the Two, Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Had a bit that's my favorite bit of his when he was doing stand up, where he goes on stage as an early colonist in America, and he unrolls an old scroll, and he's like, thank thee, as the audience is clapping. And then he just starts telling jokes that are just dead, because it's when you go to the Commonwealth, and then he'd finish and be like, thank thee, thank thee. It's kind of got that type of it's good stuff, man. Well, are you getting some inspiration for your new story then, Scott?
I actually got one for my new one.
Nice. That's true. You need Sir Butterflies or something.
Yeah, somebody should make that.
Percival Butterflies.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, as far as inspiration wise, I mean, probably not inspiration wise, but I am constantly thinking about the book and ideas popping in, and just the fact that I think less of what's around me, because it's pretty it's raining and I'm not going outside that much.
Welcome to Portland.
Yeah, less because of that, but more because I'm just not. I'm in a different element that I'm outside of it. It's just got a different change of scenery that way. It's giving me some ideas and things. So
that's awesome.
I'm just at the point where I want to get moving on the art part of this project, but I gotta have a story first. So, but it's getting there. So
I love that. Kevin, how's your animation coming? I watched your guys' last episode, and I got really excited about it. Can't wait.
That remember when I proposed the idea, and I can't remember exactly what I said, and Scott, you said something to me like, dude, this can go on forever. And then I was like, yeah, you're probably right. And then
I think you proposed it that I'm going to do this because it'll be a little easier than comics. And I'm like, wait, you're going to do an animation? It's going to be easier.
No. If I said that, that's not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
No, okay. What I meant, no, not easier than comics. The reason why I'm doing it is because it's everything that I like to do in one project.
Right. Yeah.
But it's both are hard, but this adds another, audio mixing and sound and stuff like that. But
it just collects all your interests more, comics kind of get close, but this is the fusion of everything you like,
yeah. And so I can jump around, jump. Sorry,
which one?
We're doing hip hop.
You're a few different jumps, so I don't know which one you're going.
I was going
House of Pain. Okay,
yeah,
jump around. Yeah.
Okay. So how the animation thing is going is because it's I do music, I'm doing drawing, pre-production stuff, kind of painting for the backgrounds. Hopefully didn't hit that a bunch. Stuff like that. It feels like it's not moving anywhere, because I do have it set up where I'm like, well, I'm getting kind of bored of playing this piano part.
Yeah.
I want to go and actually start the artwork on a scene.
Yeah.
And then, I get that like, okay, well, that's done, but that makes me think, oh, shoot, I need to design this other thing first. And then that gets me drawing again. And then that thing reminds me, you know what? I'm bored of designing that thing. I want to play back to the music so I can bounce around. And so it feels like I'm not focused, but I do have, like, if you can see that little book, it says animation on it.
Yeah.
That's got a checklist of everything I need to do.
Oh, cool.
And so I go through different parts of what would be the production, I guess you could call it. And I can kind of have that. I don't hear anyone say it, creative ADD anymore. Is that not politically correct or something?
I don't know.
But,
I have. Speaking of, not to.
I think you're with someone. Myself. Yeah, I was gonna say you're with someone who can give you a pass.
I definitely.
But you know what? Everyone I know tells me that I probably have it.
Yeah, I was diagnosed when I was a kid, so Scott, I know I definitely have it.
Scott, does Kevin have the pass to have made that joke?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's all we needed.
Okay. Well, but I always say ADHD is my superpower.
Yeah, I think it is a superpower. I think that and autism are a superpower.
Yeah, so I think if you got that something that you can jump around and still make progress.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, I haven't done it because I haven't made aside from a couple tests, I haven't made final movement.
Yeah.
Final animation, move yet. And aside from like real 1 to 2 second long tests where I'm like, do I want, to do the scene on 1s or 2s or 3s or that kind of thing. And then I look at my little checklist, I'm like, I've done a bunch. Just doesn't feel like it because when I get my head goes somewhere else, I can move somewhere else,
Yeah.
Eventually it's going to start funneling down more into like, now you just have to get this part done and this part done. But right now there's still a lot to do.
It sounds a lot like Scott Lost's like Slack method, like almost for animation, where you're picking the parts you want to work on. And then if you lose interest, you have other sections you can get done, but eventually it's all going to it'll get done. If we keep at it.
It's a way to fool yourself almost because, and I thought, or had a theory, I guess, about it. Going into it that would be the case, or I was hoping that would be the case because I know myself where when I've done comics, I'm like, I'm going to pencil everything. By the time I'm halfway through, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I lose interest real easy.
Yeah.
And so, bouncing around, I'm like, I will have to say, it all starts with the script. Nothing's done until it's done. So, but most of the voiceovers are done. I'm not re-recording anything else. I'm not asking anybody else to redo their parts, anything like that. Those are probably about 90-95% done. The script is pretty tight, aside from maybe I might change a split second the way someone's like hand moves or something when they pull out a gun or whatever.
Yeah.
But the dialogue and everything's done and the scene structure is pretty done.
And you're going to have doing kind of traditional where you're going to have the audio cut first and then animate to the audio. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I can kind of jump around because like the foundation's solid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's great. And you kind of have a map. So it's like, as long as you're ticking off things on the map, the map's going to get finished.
Yeah. And I'm one of those people I have to visually also see.
Yeah.
See that. And I know, there's the psychology, the dopamine hit you get from like putting a little check mark in that box. You know? So. For
sure. I'm the same way. It's why, like, if I'm working on a book, I always print out pages as I get them done so I can look at the book, especially for those days where you're just like, oh, what have I been doing for 3 years, And then you can look and be like, oh, I'm building something. Like, there's a house here, like there's something here. Yeah.
There was just about a month where I only worked on music, audio, like if anyone doesn't know, Josh is in it, and
Yes.
yeah. So
I like my character a lot too. It's a fun voice to do.
yeah, you did a fantastic job. So yeah, that was great, or is great. I keep saying was because it's edited now.
Yeah.
So that audio is edited now. So feasibly, I can go in, and the music is also edited, or the soundtrack is done.
And by the way, guys, like the soundtrack, the bits that I've heard are pretty.
Oh yeah,
or the soundtrack for your scene. I still have to do 2 songs in music styles I've never even touched on. But I think it'll be fine. Because doing this kind of spaghetti western cinematic type stuff,
yeah,
I could turn that into a punk or metal song real easy. And that's all I did was like, oh, if this can be that, why can't it be this? You know?
Yep.
So I just changed the tones and the tempos and some of the instrumentation, you know, and now it's spaghetti western instead of punk rock, you know.
Yeah. It's surprising spaghetti western has kind of a surf
oh, totally.
Connection with like the way the guitars are approached. And then punk has like a huge surf connection too. Yeah. So it's like, I think that root of that kind of surfy kind of vibe, like can make the two kind of coexist. You know?
I noticed that even with like the what do you call it? Common music that we've been using on for YouTube for our collaboration a lot. Cause we were using some of the same stuff. And I searched this YouTube library for like surf music, surf rock or whatever. And I think we were coming up with some of the same music unintentionally, but when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of got that. It's kind of got a punk vibe to it, but it's that surf rock, you know?
Yeah. It's just like tremolo, reverb guitar, over power chords. And, you know, instead of maybe like a hardcore beat that's like, do that, it's, you know, and then, but yeah, so
I mean, there's a reason like Jazz Masters and Jaguars and stuff resurfaced in like the kind of indie like punk scene, because like it makes sense because they're surf guitars, you know, like it's kind of an ideal surf guitar, so it's like, why wouldn't it, you know?
I played bass in well, I guess a couple bands, but one band in particular, and I had a Jazz Master, and it was the closest I ever got to sounding like Lemmy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is. I remember in the shop messing around, and I was like, started playing Ace of Spades, and I was like, this sounds just like it. This is the bass. This is the bass. How much?
So rad.
I know that's not. He played Rickenbackers primarily, but you know, but I figured it out. I figured out what the.
You can get the special sauce for a guitar sound with a different guitar. You know, like I've definitely had times. Man, there's a Telecaster that I modded here. It's just like the most shreddy hardcore guitar I've ever played. And I just swapped out like the pickup for like a P90. And suddenly it was just like, I can't record it for like quacky telly stuff. It's like, it's not going there. It just wants to be loud and garagey, you know?
Well, that doesn't make me mad hearing that.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's like I love that. That's why I'm addicted to guitars, because it's like they all of them have a little character to them.
So the next songs I have 2 more soundtrack songs to finish for the cartoon, and then sadly, because I'm having a lot of fun with the audio, then I just kind of the soundtrack is out. You know, that the mixing of scenes, because the songs are longer than the scenes are, you know, that kind of stuff, but I have to write a country song that sounds like Hank Williams era.
Okay,
and
so you're not going to talk about just wanting to fish your fish?
No.
Have you seen that clip?
The Kiss Your Fish? Yeah.
I've had friends for years who like, we've written that song before in like practices where we're making fun of like modern country. And, you know, I remember seeing this, like, there's like this Super Bowl thing, alternate Super Bowl. I saw clips of that and I was like, that's the song. It's all my friends have been playing that song for years. I can't believe it's real. It's like I want to fish my fish.
It's got to sound
truck.
like it's from like the 40s or 50s, probably super twangy, and somehow. And so I've been like,
so you're gonna go like a little Bob Wilsey in that business.
I do like, almost like Conway Twitty when he was still kind of a rockabilly guy.
Yeah,
I think because it's gonna have a little bit of that energy. But I've been listening to a lot of that stuff, and Conway Twitty when he was twangy, when he was doing duets with Loretta Lynn.
Yeah,
and
so good.
You know, that's stuff I hated when I was younger, but I'm older now and I like it.
Yeah, no, I've realized I like real country for sure.
Yeah, like real
school. Yeah,
to me, I like real twangy stuff, and so I've been like driving around listening to this stuff because I've only like I wouldn't even say sing, I've screamed hardcore punk rock. You know, so I'm like, okay, do I talk? Do I do like real low Johnny Cash kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or do, because one of the characters that I do the voice for in my cartoon talks like that.
Yeah.
Real low. And I thought it'd be kind of fun if he went like,
that's a register you can hit.
like all of a sudden sang real high.
If you went Bob Wills with that would be hilarious. Where it's just like, I know Bob.
I know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Bob Wills did a song called "Roly Poly." That was his big hit, and like he had his Texas Playboys, and
that was Bob. Yes, okay. Yeah. I have a Texas Playboys album, so I have it. I just haven't listened to it yet. I got it.
It's like classic country, kind of roots like rock and roll too.
Yeah, I know.
It's like pre-rock and roll. But my favorite thing about every Bob Wills song is in the background you do have a guy going, "Oh yeah,"
Mr. Hanky.
Which I think is amazing. I just think all country should have that in the background, like
yeah. So I have to do a song like that because you know there's absurdist humor in my cartoon.
I love that idea of like him having a high pitched singing voice.
Yeah, I'm playing with it. I don't know if I can pull it off, but I'm gonna try. And then I have to do a like a marching band song.
Okay.
How do you pull that off?
Dude, I was just
here's the thing. I've got like a bunch of MIDI. Sorry, Scott just asked how I'm gonna pull it off. So that's I'm pointing off. I got a little MIDI keyboard over there.
By the way, just an aside, Kevin's office / room, house is totally cool. He's very organized and everything is so vintage. It's just really cool.
It's like a Mad Men set.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it. Well, at least where we're sitting used to be in my office at the sign shop before that went out of business. But anyway, so to do this marching band kind of song, so I've got all these MIDI patches that are sampled from real instruments, and the notes won't change. I'll know the notes, but like there's like it's just nothing I've done, that something like that. So I can figure that out on guitar or bass or whatever, and then I'll just have to find like, what would be in a band like that in 1889, and then be like, okay, I need the French horn, I need the trumpet, and I need, you know what I mean? Try to figure out like something like that. But
well, for drums, you should listen to because I was literally today listening to Los Fabulous Cadillacs at Matador, which I haven't heard in years, and I was like, it's that like El Matador, like anyhow, it's so good. But that drum line is like just do do da da do da do do da, and it sounds so like marching band esque. It's very cool. So
there's one song in my cartoon that was it was supposed to be more intentionally based on like obviously still spaghetti western, but like what Ennio Morricone thought Mexican music sounded like. And then so I started doing it, and I do kind of get a kick out of mariachi music.
Yeah.
If you remember when I had to move back to Portland from down in LA, everyone we work with was like, let's go to this bar. Where do you want to go? And I was like,
mariachi bar was
I went to the mariachi one. Yeah, that was killer.
Yeah, I went to a mariachi concert for Christmas and it was incredible.
Yeah. So I looked up a bunch of like I guess the standards or the big hits of classic mariachi stuff. It's only 2 chords.
Yeah.
a lot of times. And so I was like, okay, I can do
And
that.
a lot of it's strumming pattern. It's
strumming pattern. And so then I did that, and then I was messing around, and I started playing this like hair metal sounding solo over the top of it. And I thought it was funny, and I was going to record it just for the shits and giggles. And then I hit my pedal, and I was like, oh, now it turned it into like a surf punk vintage mariachi thing. I'll keep it.
I love it.
and then I took out this more metally sounding part, and I used Spanish horns that MIDI.
Yeah.
And it sounds just like someone who knows how to play the horn.
Yeah.
On there,
That is the cool thing about like MIDI and being able to add stuff like that. Like, 'cause we've messed with like strings and like
it's so much better than it used to be, because now it's like real samples instead of like the keyboard patches that
now it's actually harder to find stuff that sounds like the old keyboard patches.
Right. Yeah, because for a separate thing, just for a YouTube video, I wanted to do this thing where I make my own music instead of go to the YouTube library all the time. And also realizing that I'll see you in another 3 years so I can build up my soundtrack for YouTube. But so I wanted to kind of build it, and I wanted to do like a like Casio.
Yeah.
And it was harder to find that than it was for me to make orchestra sounds.
Yep.
Like real orchestra sounds.
Yeah. No, we've had the same thing with like the Moog. It's so hard to find a good synth Moog that's not an actual Moog. And it's like, why? That's like the best sound in the world. Like, why wouldn't that just be a preset? Like,
yeah. I'm telling you, Stylophone, that company that does all those, like, it start off as toys and stuff.
Yeah, we have a Stylophone too. They're so fun. Like,
David Bowie used it.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. But they're putting out so many new things that you can use as like preamps and patches and things like that. So if you want, like, is it Moog or Moog? I think I do tomato.
I used to say Moog, and I found out it was Moog because you know May, like my sister-in-law.
Yeah,
she worked at like an audio distribution center that sold like mostly like keys and stuff like that. And like their main clients are like working musicians and stuff. So she'd have like these huge bands like ordering from the warehouse. But yeah, that like they call it Moog, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have known that until like a year ago. It's kind of like a Wacom. I call Wacom, even though technically I think it's Wacom.
I think it's Wacom. I've never called it that, but I've heard people call it that.
That one I'm still not calling a Wacom. It's a Wacom. Okay.
Yeah.
Pluto's a planet.
Wacom's what I'm going to do with that guy and his damn butterflies. But anyway, so yeah, they're putting out a bunch of stuff, like primarily for a while, like a lot of people who make music. It's not my thing, like kind of techno or ravey stuff.
Yeah.
But now it's just like they're making all these things, and they're super cheap, and they sound great.
That's
so you could. There's this one thing that it's got some serial number for a name, but it's got. See, I almost said Moog. It's got some Moog type sounds on there.
Oh, okay.
And I think you patch existing keyboard through it or something like that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it's got dials, so you can get that because I got that theremin from them.
Yeah.
And it's way easier to play the slider instead of the actual stick.
We got a theremin.
And then you turn the knobs, and it sounds like sci-fi.
Yeah, my buddy Josh got the theremin, and we can't figure out the.
I don't know, getting one. But I don't know music, but it just looks like something fun to play with.
Dude, you don't need it. You don't need to know music. You just need to know how to have fun.
Yeah,
and then
that's honestly how you learn to do, at least what Kevin and I do, is like you got to just try to have fun, and then you'll learn stuff by accident.
Yeah,
which is the best way to learn. There's science behind that too.
I took a guitar class when I was younger, and I just did not have the dexterity for it. I couldn't figure it out.
That thing, sorry, once again, everybody, I'm pointing off screen. You've probably seen it. I know it's been in at least a couple of my videos if you've checked them out. But for like the kind of stuff you're doing, especially on Retro Art Lab, just to mess around with sounds and not worry about, like, you don't have to make a song, just atmosphere.
Yeah.
Would be perfect. especially like with all your like Star Trek skits and things like that. And, and like,
did you do that?
We couldn't figure out the antenna thing yet.
I didn't know if you did that bit.
No, I didn't.
That's all right.
You came in too quick. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I didn't know when to come in.
I was just shocked at how hard it is to use the antenna on that thing. Cause like Josh got a theremin, so we were messing with it. And it's like you can get the theremin sounds with the keys and stuff. But I still like it blows my mind the people who can navigate the antenna because we still haven't figured it out. And I want to have the antenna so I can, use the air around it to that's the fun, cool thing about that instrument,
Yeah, it's neat science, but I'm telling you,
more control on the keys.
Yeah, and I mean it's rad to like, there's this pretty popular theremin documentary, and I think it's just called Leon Theremin. Or maybe it's just theremin, but I know it's on YouTube. And it tells you the whole science and the history of it. And then these people are like these virtuosos of like ghost and space sounds,
So cool.
But I'll tell you, maybe it's just because, punk rock background or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a theremin on a Pitch Black record. And I had a kit theremin. It wasn't like the old school because they would have like a metal rod that comes out the side, and that's your volume.
Mm-hmm.
You're messing around with like the magnetic field. And so anytime you're in a different room, the magnetic field changes. So you have to adjust it and figure out where it's going to be in tune. I don't get that.
So cool.
It's so hard. But anyway, so I get this kit theremin. This is years and years before I got this one that I have over here. And it's this little box with a little knob to try to tune it, which I never figured out. And then just the telescoping antenna like on a boombox. And we wanted this spooky theremin-y sound. And luckily our engineer was smarter than we were, and so he could figure out how to tune it, but it took us hours to get 3 notes. It was going to show up twice in a bridge,
kind
of thing, and because it didn't have a slider or anything like that, it was just the metal rod. It took so long. We're like all sitting there like retuning guitars and basses and like, okay, hit give me the A, and then you took forever. And then if a door opened or someone walked in the room, God, you gotta retune the thing again. and then we had painter's tape on the little box on the bottom with little lines, 1, 2, 3, to where you put you just kind of like if this hand's the box, go like, okay, I have to go 1, 3, 2. Right.
I've used the painter's tape trick for like keyboards too because I don't know.
It took so long, and now that I've got that thing, I'm like, I can mess around with all the knobs, and this is more fun.
Yeah, it is pretty fun.
It sounds like Space Ghost came to my house.
Yeah, it's so cool. I love old like weird noises and stuff.
Oh yeah, like, dude,
there's nothing more fun than making music with something you've never played before because in a weird way. I think that's like it forces you to do weird stuff you'd never do.
Exactly. I think it's better because if you start getting like real good at stuff, it starts like all right, like I would rather listen to a metal band like Venom than a metal guitar player like Yngwie Malmsteen because that guy knows the math.
Yeah, Yngwie, I will look at and go, wow, I'll never do that.
Yeah, you have great technique, but your technique is insane. But can you write a damn song, please?
Yeah. Am I gonna listen to it? No.
Nah. And like it's like the music I like comes from your heart and in your crotch. So that's what I want. You don't need to be educated a lot for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's for hip hop too. Like a lot of the best like early hip hop is like guys who really didn't know.
Yeah, it's like
a lot about the equipment.
What do I do?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been listening to a lot of like documentaries, and there's a channel there's a couple channels. One's something Beat Lab or something. I forgot. I'll if I remember, I'll tell you.
Beat Lab?
No, that's not what it's. What did you say?
Beat Lab?
No, I forgot what it. But he'll talk about all the old samplers and stuff and how they rigged them, and he's saying, well, you could only record like 3 seconds of a sample. So what we had to do was we had to record it on slow speed, put it on, speed it up, and slow it back down again, or something. All this to do all this stuff, or record it in fast speed so you get more of it. Put it on and then slow it down so you could get more of that sample on your, all these different tricks they would use with all these samplers and stuff. But there's so much experimentation. Like if you ever listen to Grandmaster Flash talk about how he came up with, and some people might debate whether there was stuff before him, but anyway, just his technique and everything with like the purple crayon and all that kind of stuff, and how he just like would rig stuff together and figure out how it works. There's like a science to it. It's crazy, but there had never been anything like that before. It was such an experimental. Here we're going to make music out of existing records and mash them up and do all. And it's I mean,
distortion was an accident. And then they liked it and got tired of like destroying their amps. So they were like, could we make this like a thing, like a pedal?
Well, it became like it became like the thing to do because, there was such a small scene.
Yeah.
Coming out of that kind of mod, I guess, before it became the British invasion over here and stuff like that. And then garage rock, that they all started doing that.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what happened? Oh, my cone got a rip in it. Oh, really? And then they just take a razor blade.
Yeah.
Then you get distortion.
And even a lot of the pedals were like developed by accident. Like it's like a lot of just weird, like messing with tape and how things work.
There's a lot of like, I'm trying to get effect A, but effect B came out.
Yeah.
So let's figure out what to do with B, What
I think is equally fascinating is when you go back pre-CGI and all how they used to do special effects and how they figured all that stuff out. It's just amazing. Like, and you don't have that anymore unless you specifically set out to do it. But some of those, I remember, what was it? They would put like, I think it was the black hole, where they were talking about how they did, where they would just put like paint in a fish tank and like film it or something. They do weird stuff like that to do all these, ethereal like space effects and just weird
stuff.
Even
matte painting is insane. When you see like clips from like Conan, like where they would like have a sheet of like acetate or like clear glass, and then they would paint like over, like the guy would just look at the mountain that he wants a castle on the top of.
Yeah.
From the angle the camera would be, and just start painting it.
Yeah.
And then the camera had to be like, they'd like rig it so that the camera couldn't move. Like it's going to be a steady shot. And then they'd shoot like guys like, on horses going towards the mountain and there's just a painting in the foreground. It's like whoever came up with that's just an accident, I think that's just kind of the way to do it, where it's like, I think that's the fun of art. And if people forget that, you can feel restricted or like scared or just trapped. And it's like, I think a lot of people just forget that like a lot of it's just try it and see if it works. And if it doesn't, like adjust your approach.
Yeah. And don't ever settle with just like being an Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah. Although, man, that guy, again, I can't touch what he does on guitar. I just can't listen.
No, but I also think he got to a point and he stopped.
Yes.
Stopped exploring. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He stopped. He knew theory so well, and he just stayed there. It got boring.
Yeah.
So, because I'm trying to come to a point because I feel like at the same time, you as a school teacher, especially, it might sound, especially I know maybe what came out of my mouth is like, hey, don't learn anything. It'll sound better. It'll be better. That's not what I meant.
No, I think you're actually talking about how you learn. It's like because to me, a lot of what kids learn, like you can teach them technique and stuff like that, but at some point, like, and this is something I have to do every day as an art teacher, because I'm dealing with kids who are just full of fear of messing up, and you have to just be like, you're gonna mess up, just go for it. Like that's a big part of it is like, see what happens with the paint. Like I can show you how to mix it the right, like, if it's like, let's get it to like that milky substance that we all learned in illustration school, like get it to that milk level, right? That's the best amount of water. But it's like, but at the same time, like if you don't start painting, It's like that. It's
well, if you're working with opaque paint, you really can't mess up.
Yeah.
And if you do, you just paint over it.
Yeah.
It's not like watercolor.
And then eventually, you might over mess up your page. And like, if you're painting on like a really like treated paper or something, it's going to mess up the paper. Okay. What do you do now? That's like half the fun of the process is like, you will learn by screwing up. And you're going to learn a lot more by being curious and trying stuff than like by being like restricted and trying to get it right. Cause that's usually where you're not going to learn,
Yeah.
Kevin, you and I used to talk about this all the time, where we both like were kind of anti artists at first. So like, I think you had a similar thing. I know when I started inking, I would listen to people who'd be like, you want to use like a quill or a micron and a brush. And I'd be like, I can do it all with a Sharpie. Screw you guys. And it took me a couple of years of just doing things with a Sharpie to realize, maybe I should get a brush. Like, it's like, I think there's something to that, because then when I got a brush, I really wanted to learn it, because I'm like, I mean, this is way better. So now I want to learn the techniques, But until I wanted to, I wasn't going to learn anything about brush,
Well, I think it's like, I think there's something to being maybe kind of a novice or ignorant.
Yeah.
And wanting to do something and then accidentally making something new because you found a different way, or you might not have landed where you wanted to go, but you figured out something different, right? And then as you start learning technique and you get really good, then maybe switch to something for a minute, that you've never done before, and then to freshen things up, Otherwise, you're just kind of repeating yourself. Does that make sense?
No, it totally does. It's like I'm doing this book in the way that I did Two Stories book 1, because it's the second book, right? I want to use the same techniques.
Right.
But when I was thinking about this stupid Duck Cop comic thing that I'm doing, I intentionally picked materials that are hard to work with. Like, just because I like drawing on cardboard. It's one of my favorite things for like, just if I'm sketching, like a cardboard or chipboard is like fun. It's just like interesting. But then I was like, I kind of like that. Like, I can't get noodly with it because it just blobs. Like when and I was like, that actually is forcing me into an interesting area of like being looser. And I think that's a good exploration, and maybe I won't like it after a while, but I think changing it up, like sometimes make it hard for yourself, or like make your limitations different, like change it up. I think that's a good way to go.
And then there's something about psychology or something like that, but like say you do something on cardboard, chipboard, that feels throwaway, so you don't get so precious, and then somehow by not being precious, it's awesome. And then you learn a lesson like, I'm too anal about my stuff, or something,
or like, I mean, you've probably had moments like this too, and Kevin and Scott, you guys have definitely had moments like this where you're like when my kid was younger and he did a lot of like coloring and coloring books, I would like go draw with him, and then I'd catch myself being surprised by like how fun it is to just use these like crappy wax crayons. Like, it's actually really fun and limiting, but you feel really free when you're doing it. And then before you know it, you make pretty awesome drawings as a skilled artist with like crappy crayons. So I think, it's like most parents who are artists will experience that, right? Where it's like some materials maybe you haven't touched in years, now you're gonna mess with just to like be side by side with your kid, like using them. But surprisingly, like I might actually at some point do a book in crayons, like crappy like Crayola crayons. Who knows?
Yeah, it's always interesting when people do. So it's either that or like they'll do like stuff with ballpoint pen or whatever, and just it's really good. A reminder that it's not always the medium or the how cheap material is. If you have the ability, you can make it. Use anything and make it look good.
Yeah, so there's a lot for technique, and like definitely listen to, like, if I'm trying to get inking tips, if I was trying to get guitar technique tips and I wanted to shred, like I'm not a shreddy guitarist, but if I wanted to, I might watch some Ingve just to get some clues on like some crazy techniques, because there are people who are like masters of what they do, and like there's validity to it. But yeah, just like mastery is boring, exploration's fun, and I think it makes art more interesting. That's why traveling is so good, right? If we get stuck in our little boxes, right? Then you don't get to like go to Portland and experience something different.
Well,
And
you need to remember that, Josh, because you're always you seem more than anyone the one that's always like, I don't like to travel.
I don't. I do when I do, but I am like I'm happiest when I'm at home, just kind of doing
I am
thing.
too, but I do love to travel. I like to see different things, and
but I should
leave this
remember.
earth, I'd like to at least visit as many different places as I can.
Yeah, I'm bringing back, and I've only done 2 videos on my channel in this series, I guess. But I wanted to do a ton more, but things work out how they work out.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing it back, and I have a schedule of the videos I'm going to be making over the next year, and it's art and adventure. It's real generic.
That was a good series. Yeah.
I've only done 2, and I have in my notes and these little notebooks I have over here.
Yeah, that's cool.
in front of Scott, I have 4 planned already, and that's the thing too. It's my financial situation sucks, but I'm finding it's just like someone who doesn't know how to play guitar is all of a sudden in the Ramones, making something awesome. I'm finding things to do that are way off the beaten path that are awesome because they're free, and maybe gas money or lunch if you're going out or whatever. But anyway, I guess being an artist on the move, that's how I can travel right now, is to go see, like, break into the haunted house. Not saying I'm going to do that. Probably going to do that. And explore that and tell the stories and all that kind of stuff. There's no breaking in where I'm going. Don't worry. I'm talking smack. But I'm finding a lot of stuff like that, like right, within like half an hour of here.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like, hey, Bigfoot drove a UFO. It was in the newspaper in 1967, and there's still the house that he rented after he landed, and you could, just weird stuff.
Yeah.
I just made all that up. Maybe.
I remember one time. Yeah, I remember one time when I went to Disneyland. Just so I think it was just so I could write it off as a business expense. I went to every single land of Disneyland, and I drew a character inspired by that land.
Oh,
and the video got no views at all, but it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's the rub. It's like I love to go to these weird places, and my favorite one is one of the least, or my favorite video, I guess, that I've done since way back when I was doing comic book videos and stuff.
Wait, can I guess? Is it the lighthouse?
Yeah,
that's my.
So
favorite.
I went to a lighthouse. I went to an old World War II, derelict military base. Oh God, what else happened that day?
You wove a really good tale. That. Yeah.
Oh, I saw a roadside attraction. Jake the Alligator Man.
Yeah.
And then I rolled that all into one story. And the only thing that, I don't think I said this on the video. The only thing was I was going to take my daughter to this place to see Jake the Alligator Man. Nothing else was planned that day. And next thing you know, I'm at a haunted lighthouse. Locals are telling me these rad stories and being like, hey, come behind the gate over here where tourists are supposed to go. I'll show you this cool thing. And then I was like, no way, this is so rad. And I paid for gas that day to get it's in Washington. Portland's around the border of Washington, so it's not that far. But it was less than an hour away. So gas there and back, and then lunch for my daughter and I.
Dude,
that's it.
Do you think it would make sense when you do that to actually break down what you paid? Like here's a budget trip that you can do, some cool stuff or something like it, and just say, this is what we spent, this is what we did. That type of, it seems like if you could, I think that might be an audience to tap into that would be like,
that might be like a hook, because I am definitely, not looking for, no one to cry over me or anything, but It's the worst financial situation I've ever been in. And yet my next art and adventure video, or my next two, I haven't decided which one's going first, but one of them is less than 45 minutes away. I can go for free and see 2,000-year-old art on rocks.
Yeah, that's rad.
For free.
When I was in Pals, I don't know if you remember this book. It was kind of popular back when we were doing like early Artcaster stuff, or even 100 Days of Making Comics. Remember Ryan Estrada?
Yeah.
There was a book called Poorcraft, and I saw it at Pals. I almost picked it up, but I'm like,
I've heard
it's kind of probably out of date, but I almost picked it up, but I didn't. But that kind of idea, it's just it's basically like how to travel on a budget, all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Well, and I think that
I don't think
like
that,
the
I
one
think
thing
now, especially, that's probably resonant with people. That
yeah, because I
know
think
what you're talking about. I haven't read it, but
I think the one thing that works too, because Kevin, I've known you for a while, and it's like I feel like I'm not a traveler in the sense of seeking it out, but I have a pretty easy time of like if I'm out and about, like wherever I'm at, finding interesting stuff and getting stoked. And it's like I think that if you bring like a sketchbook anywhere can be interesting. Like you know what I mean? Like even on my plane trip or whatever, I was so mystified by like people just zoning out watching a movie or something, and I'm like, dude, there's a whole plane full of people that I can draw and they can't do anything about it. That's awesome. Like, how often do you have that scenario? And like there's a lot of really interesting things. Even in Chicago, like some of the funnest places we ended up, we'd stop by a place and then we'd ask like the server, like, where would you go drink after work? And then they'd be like, oh, I'd go over here. This is the spot. The other spot where people are at, like, don't go there. That sucks. And you'd listen to it, go to the place, and suddenly you find this amazing dive or something that like nobody's looking at.
I think if you're gonna go, out of state, or even more so probably out of the country, you go where the Americans go, and then after that you go where the Germans go, and then you go, I'm going over that opposite way.
Yeah.
And to say that because they're both loud groups.
yeah. But
sorry,
it's like,
sorry, Germans.
yeah, but it's like, it's one of those, I don't know, man. Like even the place I live, I used to hate living here and I love it. There's like weird little quirky places,
I love where you
that
live.
Are fun.
I love where you live. And with how am I trying to say this? How you described how you are cool going someplace, but you like being at home and whatever. I'm off, when I was there, like if you had to do like family time or something like that, I would go drive out into the desert and then I'd come back and I'd be like, hey, look, I walked into this abandoned house. Yeah. And then we were like, wait, that was a meth lab.
Yeah.
I could have used you to be like, maybe not this one.
Yeah. But there's something cool about exploring. Like there was a couple times in Chicago where the group kind of broke up and I had a little bit of time to just kind of wander the city a little bit. And it's just such a fun experience to just like allow yourself to not have anything to do other than just explore. And it doesn't have to cost a bunch. Like you have legs, like you can walk places. It's like, it's surprising what comes up.
That kind of stuff. I mean, maybe I don't know if we're getting off the topic of art, except for I think it's important to do that kind of stuff for your art, or else you just kind of become.
It's all inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, or else you just kind of become. I've fallen into this trap, so I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody. You become like, oh man, I got all these Jack Kirby reprints, and then I start drawing like Jack Kirby all of a sudden,
yeah,
or whatever, or his subject matter at least, or whatever. Not that I'm not trying to poo-poo it. I'm just trying to say you need more. And
in the tank,
especially these days, man. Like modern times, like just turn the GPS off and pick a direction.
Yeah.
See what happens. Sometimes I think.
I mean, in some towns, maybe not. But like most places, it's like it's surprising.
Just get out of there quick, but get a story.
Yeah,
get a scoop.
I still haven't learned how to turn off the emoji thing on the stupid webcam. So like every once in a while, you might see like an upside down thumb because I didn't have time to like flip this the right way. So sorry guys if you're seeing little emoticons.
I don't know. Scott was looking over there. It must be the ghost.
Yeah.
The ghost didn't approve.
Wait. What's the ghost, Kevin? The ice cream ghost? What's the name?
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Soft serve.
Soft serve. Yeah.
It's soft serve that he's looking for.
Did you remember that? So there was a
Mr. Softy. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a friend of mine, and we're still doing Big Illustration Party Time at that point, right?
Yeah.
And we went to, I can't remember if it was the Zine Symposium or like Stumptown, which was like a little comic, like indie comic thing.
That was a great convention.
But yeah, it was. Actually, me and Josh had a really good one this one year, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Maybe. But anyway, so a friend of mine from college, dude from Detroit also, so he came to visit, and he was my, I guess, partner on my first self-published comic that wasn't a zine, if that makes sense. We did Zombies and Broken Hearts. Yeah, we did that in college. Well, anyway, he was here, and somehow we just concocted this story, and for some reason it was a soft serve cone of ice cream with a baby's face on it that was following us everywhere and trying to kill us. And we decided that while he was here, we were going to do these like 2-minute long podcasts about
like soft serve sightings and stuff.
Vaguely
soft serve history.
Yeah,
because I was listening back then, but
yeah, we even made a Tumblr page about it.
Oh, really?
And we both lost the we can't remember what email, because it's neither of our emails somehow. We must have made a new one up and all that kind of stuff. So if Tumblr didn't take it down when they did like that big thing,
right?
But ours wasn't like dirty pictures, so it's probably still up. But I don't. Oh, it was called, our podcast was called Comfortable Thrashing.
Yes.
That might have got taken down for other reasons. Not knowing what.
It's so great too, because Kevin was like having people like submit like pictures with soft serve, like fake historical pictures.
Yeah, well, I did like those too.
Yeah,
like,
he did a bunch of them.
like Abraham Lincoln doing like in that famous picture during the Civil War where he's addressing everybody, maybe Gettysburg, I can't remember. But soft serve is like
okay. Yeah, okay. I think I remember because
he was in my backyard.
Do you remember? Do you remember that comedian Rich Hall? You ever used to watch not necessarily the news?
Yeah, Sniglets.
Yeah, Sniglets. But he used to do this thing where he would pop just in the back. He'd just be like a regular guy, and he just like people would be doing an interview, and he just kind of pop back, and he's looking around and like, what's going on? And no one knew what he was doing, and he just kind of did that and made goofy stuff, and then went off screen or whatever. And they would do that. I think it was on not necessarily the news, but then every once in a while you would see it on some other show where he would pop in and he'd do the same thing in back of something somebody was doing.
Yeah, we had there was a lot like that. Like, oh no, soft serve. And then we had like, I think we had people play characters of themselves, and I think Josh might even be on a couple of those. And
you had us all tell, like, I think you had a lot of us tell our soft serve stories.
Yeah.
It was like we've had these other people have sightings of soft serve, and then like you would talk to us.
My ex-wife played like 3 different characters of women harassed by this ice cream cone.
So good.
I'm looking at the comments come in, and I think Chris Tankersley is listening on a delay because he's commenting about the country music stuff.
Nice.
So he'll catch up to us a little bit.
Yeah, we're comfortable thrashing now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude looking at my phone. I'm just trying to see if it's still there.
I want to see if it's there too.
Yeah, that was a great title too, and I think Matt would just be like, "Yeah, we're." Like Kevin would be like, "We're thrashing," and he'd be like, "But comfortably, like very comfortably thrashing, guys." So good.
Oh God, it says it's gone. There's nothing here. It's gone.
There's nothing.
Erased from history, as soft serve would want to.
I know on some there's a computer just behind Scott here that's older than dirt, and I know that has at least the images we made. I don't know if I have the podcast of it still, but it might be hidden on there somewhere.
Yeah, I think soft serve is doing his thing and just getting rid of the.
Because I know I have like all our big illustration party time ones, so I wonder if it's on there.
I don't think so. I think it's not meant to go out, Kevin. You got too close to the truth.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So with those 3-letter organizations, they didn't want to know anything about soft serve.
Uh-huh.
Or I mean, they didn't want the
soft.
Sorry, that's what
it was big soft for sure.
Yeah. Big soft or big secret.
we have to revive that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have to give Matt a call.
Oh man, Matt's such a funny dude.
Yeah, he's right.
Do you guys? I've probably asked you this before, but is there somewhere recorded episodes of Big Illustration Party Time on a hard drive anywhere?
So I have them.
Okay.
I think I have most of them. I don't have the talk shoe ones.
Right.
I have any that we did ourselves because we had to do talk shoe for a while.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have microphones or something.
We also just weren't like equipped enough to like run a podcast at the time.
Well, we were learning, man.
Yeah, we were learning.
You were like the first or one of the first.
There was one that was about fantasy RPG illustrators. And sometimes we'd have contact with them.
Yeah.
And I know for a while we were gonna try to either do a crossover or we were going to be on their show and then they were going to be on ours, but somehow it didn't work out. I can't remember what it's called, but
yeah.
One of the guys is famous now.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that there was a webcomic one too that was always rivaling us, and they got huge.
Yeah.
Well, I know Brick was probably around at that time, wasn't he? What Adventures in Design? I don't think he's doing that anymore. He did it for a while, but he started making money doing it.
Because I didn't know until we made some, not
tiny amounts.
Like it was rarely, but it was always like a surprise. I remember that. But so I feel like it was semi recently, but it was within the last like 10 years. Time's different for me.
Yeah.
I remember getting an email from Apple saying that Big Illustration Party Time wasn't going to be available unless we start updating again or uploading again. And so I don't think, because I never got an email that said, okay, now it's gone. And then I don't recall there being like a date, like when they're going to take it down.
Yeah.
I just assume it's gone. But well, they also changed from iTunes to just Apple Music and all that stuff. Right. But I do have the
hard files,
the ones that we edited that were not just done through TalkShoe.
So you have the hard files, but not the soft files.
That's right. Speaking of, you should see some of the ads
it's funny. Like I could tell it's so funny because I could tell that Kevin's single by the ads that are popping up on his screen. Yeah, like I remember when I was single, I used to get those same ads.
But it's weird because you think like how's it?
You think it might know your sexual orientation with as smart as it is.
Sometimes because it's been giving me some like, hey, maybe try this. What you're doing is not working, man.
I always find it weird though when your computer or your phone it has clearly heard you'll be like, man, I have the worst headache, and then it's like you just get like Advil ads for like the rest of the day. You're like, they're totally listening. Like there's no way they aren't, Yeah,
and plus I am so spoiled for having YouTube Premium because I don't get these ads. So now I feel for everyone that watches the show.
It's pretty funny.
I'm too cheap. I just cannot justify paying for it, but yet it would be so convenient and it's not crazy expensive. I'm such I don't know. I just can't do it. Can't bring myself to pay the whatever for YouTube Premium. Can't do it.
Yeah, I'm currently miserly, not by choice. but once I do have that choice, I'm probably going to stay miserly a bit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
A lot of things, but
yeah, I just can't. I don't know. I get that way about everything though. I overthink spending any amount of money.
I would rather pay for YouTube than Netflix or Hulu or any of that stuff, though.
I agree with you on that, actually. That actually makes sense.
Even though I still also think that YouTube's another bad company, but it's the platform we use.
Yeah. And there's a lot of really cool, like, I enjoy YouTube. Like, it may not be the best company, but I enjoy a lot of content on YouTube.
Yeah. And lately, it's not just today. It started recently. And I think I can pinpoint the conversation I had not on the computer, actually. But it's mostly senior dating.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's got
I'm close, but I'm not there yet. All right.
I don't know, man. I've heard dating life as a senior is pretty wild. You know, I remember my grandpa, dude. He was having some fun at that elderly home.
Yeah, once you get old enough, and because men don't live as long, and you'll be you're the only guy around.
I always seem to date millennial chicks.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I don't know about that senior stuff. Maybe I'll be a senior, but
that's wild. Are we really all getting there to that point? We're getting close. I had somebody tell me, oh my gosh, what was the phrase? It was a compliment about gray hair, but it was a term I've never heard before because I'm starting to get a lot of gray up here. And they said, yes, they said, you're kind of doing the silver fox thing. And I was like, what is that? And I'm like, at first I was like, huh? And then they're like, oh, it's just the gray hair. I'm saying it looks okay. And I'm like, okay.
They didn't try to kiss you or anything?
No, it was just it was like a no. But I was just like, I'd never heard that term before, and I'm like, that's
what. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into that. I was about to go into a whole thing about dating and stuff like that because,
this is the Datecaster show. So
welcome to Datecasters, guys. We're going to talk about dates, but only the food dates. I personally like them purple. What about you guys?
I like the date. You got to get them shriveled.
This is gonna get so bad. So purple and shriveled. We're talking about dates, just nothing else.
Well, I love you guys.
Kevin,
right now, being in the room with you gentlemen, I'm kind of purple and shriveled.
Kevin, your ads that are going to come up after that are going to be real wild.
Oh man, they were getting wild there for a minute.
I love it.
Did we just crash the Artcasters? Are we ready?
I think we hit the point.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah, we've gone it from Artcasters on the move to Artcasters moving into
Artcasters
After Dark, senior edition.
That's what I was going to say. Moving into the After Dark territory.
You guys, we went from art casting on the move to art casting with walkers. Okay.
Now I'm getting the Lazy Girls tan hack for Savannah's skin.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, you know what it looks like? It looks like in Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and those people have like heads. It was an ad for here. Have nice skin. Look like a veiny-headed
veins on the side of the head.
Look like a veiny-headed mutant.
A lot of that, I don't know. A lot of the like skin treatment stuff is disturbing, man. All right, guys. Welcome to Artcasters. We're going to talk about art now. No, I'm just kidding. We're probably going to wrap it.
Now that we've warmed up.
Yeah. We're probably going to wrap it. Needless to say, we thought it would be cool to just kind of catch up and talk about some of our trips. And, of course, catch up with Kevin and Scott in the same room. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Cool.
They're human, guys. It's confirmed, okay? Or are we all AI? Who knows? Yeah, he starts.
Yeah, make sure it is not a split screen. I can move over here. It's not special effects.
I love it, and that worked out exactly as we planned. Well done, Scott. It looked very believable. Yeah.
I just tear this down. No, we are still together, but we're in Arizona.
Oh my gosh! If we could have done that as like a rug pull, and then afterwards you walk from that room and you're in the same room.
We're gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to take a picture of this from the computer's vantage point and then go to your house.
I love it so much. It's great catching
We
up with
should go
you
to
guys.
Josh's house and he'll go to your house.
Just everyone's at the,
Sorry.
yeah.
Look, guys, I have summers off now, so there will be some visiting over the summer for sure. So we're gonna have to organize some stuff.
Yeah, I can easily make a trip to where you are anytime.
Yeah, and I would love to go up to Arizona, although I don't know if summer's the time to do it.
Probably not.
Dude,
car
I
might
used
die.
to end a lot of summers in Phoenix because it was like, you know, we kind of start in like where I'm from in San Francisco area or LA, and then kind of end in Phoenix. And if we didn't have like a home show, which you get to a certain point, you can't play too often at home. It sucks. But we would end at this friend of mine's house in Phoenix, and he had a pool in his backyard, and it was always, we ended like just a brutal time in summer. And we would be the whole time up to here in his pool, and just like anytime, hey, you know, when we catch up, you just see people's mouths just kind of breach. Yeah, dude, that sounds rad.
I'm sure when you got back, you just had like a red face.
Oh, dude, it just looked like I was wearing.
Oh yeah,
it looked like I was Furiosa, but I was embarrassed.
Well, guys, it's awesome catching up with you, and I missed you guys last week, and now I can actually go back to like hosting occasionally on my channel now that I've figured out, you know, the Chromebook bit. I just called it a Chromebook because I'm a high school teacher. My Macs, my laptop or whatever, I figured out how to kind of run it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, Kevin's next, so Kevin, think about that.
Yeah, you're up, sir. We could talk about dates. We could talk about dates. We could talk about old people's homes. We can do all of the whatever crazy topics we want to talk about.
I'll tell you about my dating life. YouTube thinks they know. They don't.
That's true. You guys have no idea. This man is a man of mystery. All right. With that being said, thanks to everybody in the chats for hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys. You guys are the reason we do this. It's other than just getting to catch up and hang out ourselves. With that being said, you're on my channel, so hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications. Make sure you bought 2 stories, or be like Scott Serkland and buy Jacob's Apartment at a bookstore. Okay. So if you're in Portland, there's a copy left at least at Powell's, so pick it up at Powell's. And then if not,
but don't get numb because I got to go back and get
that might be like the only remaining copy.
Yeah. I got a copy of Numb upstairs in a little box.
That's
right. No one can get to.
I love it.
Is that the one you did? Is that the actual one you did the Xerox with?
Yeah. Okay. The Xerox with
Xerox.
Sure. Xerox. It's just a Xerox.
I have a Xerox.
Guys, I won the Xerox grant
of the Xerox award.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if this whole time you guys thought I got the Xerox grant and all I was saying was I Xeroxed my comic?
Yeah. And you just went, well, they seem to like me when it's
that needs to go on one of our books is like winner of the Xerox grants. Anyway, all right, guys. Kevin, where can everybody find your work? Where can they follow these adventures of travel, as well as like the building of Agent Peppermints? Where can they kind of keep track of all this stuff?
Okay, so right now my website super outdated. It's also kevincross.net. If you go to kevincross.com, I'm after that guy because I want the .com. He's like a wedding DJ or something like that.
I saw that.
But
I might have linked .com, so I'm going to fix that to .net.
We should have switched seats because according to the Chiron, I'm Kevin Cross.
Yeah, we should have, but whatever.
Hopefully you guys know who we are.
So probably the best place to keep up with what I'm doing, because you'll get visual, you'll get audio, you'll get all kinds of creativity with a middle finger, not to you, but to the greater society. I'm not going to use that again. I just wanted to try it out. But anyway, it's just YouTube at Kevin Cross Art.
All right, and then magically the website suddenly fixed itself. I don't know how that happened with the web link, but these wonders of the internet. All right, Scott, how do people keep track of this wild business?
Yeah, so first, where you can find my stuff, I have a YouTube channel, Serkworks Art Lab on YouTube. That's where you can find my comic book content. I just put a video, a really good video, I think, on how to gamify your art productivity. So definitely check that out. If you have trouble getting projects done, this might help you. And then I also have another channel called Retro Art Lab. And last week I put out a video on there. So check that out as well. Also, if you go to my website, you can get this. This is Young and the Dead, Kids versus Zombie Adventure Story. You can get that. And this is for you, sir.
Oh, thank you. I have the mini comics.
Yeah, he's got the mini comics.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked.
So, and the show, we do the show every single week. We have a newsletter. We don't spam or anything. We didn't send one out this week because I'm on vacation and I totally spaced out on it. But typically what we do is we send out a little reminder about 30 minutes before we go live, letting you know whose channel's going to be on because we rotate back and forth through all our different channels. And so join that. You won't miss an episode. So definitely check out. There should be a link in the description, I think, on that. So.
I love it. Well, it's great to be back, guys, and it's awesome having Kevin back in the fold of the Artcasters. And yeah, it's the way to do it. All right, thanks everybody in the chats. We will see you guys on the next live stream, and you guys have a blast out in Portland. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.